Hello, hello, hello. I believe we are live. So I want to welcome you to 7 productivity blocks and how to actually clear them. So I hope I'm looking at the right place here. Don't want to be looking crazy. But I'm Felicia Streeter, and I just want to welcome you if you're here joining us live or to the replay people. Thank you for coming and checking out this quick video. And I want to try to keep these trainings very short. 30 minutes max, ideally 15-20 minutes. So I'm going to dive right into the content. But however, before I get started, I don't want to assume that you know who I am. You may know a little bit about me, but I just want to share briefly who I am, and just in case you found this at the last minute and you haven't checked out the site and things like that. So I'm Felicia Streeter, and I work with entrepreneurs and small business owners, helping them be more productive in their own chaos. And I do that by showing them how to put systems around their success, how to streamline their processes, and basically how to boost their productivity and in the end increase their profits. So that's what we're all about here. And that's why today we're sharing those 7 productivity blocks. So I have some notes because I have plenty of productivity blocks, but I want to try to narrow it down to the 7 most common and important. And here's the thing. Some of what I'm going to share with you, you may already know, right? So acknowledge that, but you may not be taking action on actually clearing those productivity blocks, or they all may resonate with you, right? And so what I want to do is just kind of make you aware of what they are, because sometimes knowing is half the battle, right? So I want to make you aware of that. And then I also want to give you some tips, strategy, something real quick that you can maybe do to start clearing those blocks in those particular areas that apply to you, okay? All right, so we're going to dive right in. I told you we're going to dive right into the content. So if you want to find out more about me, definitely go to the website, FELICIAStreeter.com. It'll be down in the show notes, and you can find out more there about who I am and what I do and things like that. But here, you're here for 7 productivity blocks, and I want to give that to you as quickly as I can. All right, so if you need pencil and paper, whatever you're going to take notes with, grab it. Let's get started. So the first productivity block, I have my notes here, that I want to share with you, and I know there's a lag, so just be mindful of that there is a lag in the live video streaming, okay? So I just want to say that. So the first productivity block that you want to be aware of is stop doing everything yourself, okay? Stop doing everything yourself. This is something that goes back to being a perfectionist, maybe, feeling like no one can do it like you or as good as you can, right? And so that you feel that you have to do everything yourself. You feel that, you know, even if you have team, you may feel like you still have to have your hand in each and every little decision that's being made, or you have to sign off on everything before it leaves the office and things like that. So don't think you have to do everything yourself, right? Here's a tip. Here's something that you can do. If you're kind of hesitant in releasing some of those tasks, right, to people, or outsourcing or things like that, start small. You know, you don't have to give them a big project, right? You know, something that's really going to make it a game changer for you if it's successful, and if it's not, it could kill your business. So just be mindful of that. Start small. Say you're hiring a VA or somebody remotely, and you're kind of uncomfortable, you're unsure. Well, don't start by giving them like something to do where they're going to have access to your bank account, or maybe they're going to have access to passwords and things like that that go with your business. So you can start small, start simple, and then, you know, go from there. Okay, so that's one thing you want to do. The next productivity block I want to share is stop doing repetitive tasks. If you think about your business and you look at it, if you even track what you're doing, and a lot of you may not be doing that, that's the first thing you can do to kind of figure out where you're doing the same task over and over again, is start tracking what you're doing. Maybe, you know, take 3 or 4 days, track what you're doing, see how many repetitive tasks you have, and then automate where you can, and put systems around things that you're doing over and over again. So what do I mean by that? For example, over a 3-4 day period, if that's not long enough, you may have to do 30 days. It just depends on what your business is and the things that you do in your business and how often you do the same things. But for the most part, most people, you're probably doing what? Social media every day. You're working with clients on a daily basis. You're doing some type of sales strategy, marketing. If you have team, whatever that looks like for you, there's something that you're probably doing on a daily basis. And the actual steps, process that you're going through with that is something that you're doing repetitively, meaning you're doing the same exact steps, same exact things, and possibly you can automate that. All right, so systems is wonderful for that. And there's a lot of different tools that we won't get into that you could possibly use when you're automating things, but just be mindful of that. What are you doing that you can automate? Okay. And then the third one is, and this is a big one, not keeping focused. Right? You're over here. You're over there. You're up here. You're down there. Right? So you're never keeping focused. And what that looks like is, and it could be interruptions and distractions that's preventing you from being focused. So you just have to be aware of what's pulling you away from being focused. And I like to say that you want to have like an eagle's eye. Eagles are very focused. They fly up really, really high in the sky. But while they're doing that, they're actually looking down, focusing on what they can find to eat. And once they find it, they get laser focused on it and they dive down and they get it. That's how you need to be in your business. You need to be laser focused on what you're trying to accomplish, what your goals are. If you're doing a particular task, you want to be laser focused on that and be assured that whatever you're doing, that it's going to ultimately get you to that goal that you have and you desire. Now, some of the things that may be preventing you from being focused, right? A big thing for a lot of people is social media. And I know we need to be on there to do our business, right? A lot of you may have joined me here today or found this video via social media. So social media is good and bad, just depending on how you use it. But if you're using it more so for business and you're staying focused on what you should be doing, why you're in there, then that's cool. But, limit the time. I can tell you, if I'm not mindful, I'm guilty of this too, where I'll pop on social media and I go straight to the streaming, right? And you know what happens? You see that funny video, somebody has a comment, there's funny graphics and things like that, and you just get to scrolling, right? And so that can be time consuming. So that can be something that's distracting you from being focused on why you're actually on social media and what you're trying to do there, right? So that's an example of that. Okay, so staying focused. And then also I want to share number 4? 1, 2, 3. Number 4 is understanding the amount of effort that's required to complete a task. And when I say amount of effort, I'm talking about how much time is going to take to complete a particular task. That alone can, hinder your success and you being on time. And depending on what type of business you're in, if, being timely is important, maybe you're working with clients and you have deadlines, especially if you're an attorney. I have some attorneys, and so they have to be in court on a particular date. That means that whatever back end work needs to take place in order for them to be prepared, they have to have it done in time, right? And so you can't wait to, they can't, for example, wait till the day of, right, that morning, and they're supposed to be in court at 9 a.m. So you want to be mindful of how much time that it's taking you to actually complete different tasks and things that you need to get done in your business, and then allot the time necessary. And here's the thing. In the beginning, of course, you may be a little bit off. That's okay. It's a work in progress. But over time, again, in doing repeated tasks or different things that may be similar, you can kind of guesstimate how much time it's going to take you. And it's always better to allot for more time than not having enough. Okay. So just be mindful of that. And then number 5? This one is a doozy. This is a major productivity block here, and that's having a giant to-do list. Have you ever just created a list and you just keep adding things to it and adding things to it, right? And that to-do list is getting longer and longer, and it feels like you're just not checking anything off. And it's, you know, I find it's more of a problem for me now that we have technology, because it only takes a second to go add something to that list, right? When you're using a online software or an app on your phone. So be mindful of the giant to-do list, because that'll make you really feel overwhelming, and that alone can stop you from being productive. And you're looking at the list like, what should I tackle first? Which one is most important? Here's what I like to do. With my to-do list, like my daily to-do list, I really may list 10 things, right, that I want to accomplish that day. And then out of the 10, I break it down to like 3 things that I must get done today. Those 3 things that would be a game changer for me. And when I complete those 3 things, if I can't get to the rest of the things, I'll feel like I've accomplished something. So whatever that number is for you, but you don't want it to be a high number. You could even just make your list of 3 things. I do like 10 because I like to finish the 3, and then I can pull 3 more versus having to go back to the giant long list and find 3 more things to do. So it kind of keeps me more focused, and it saves me some time that way. So create a list, right? And then from that list, pull what you want to focus on for that particular day. So you're breaking that list down into smaller pieces. And then from that, you can, you know, pull 3 things at a time, accomplish that. And once you accomplish those 3, then you can add 3 more, okay? And then, you know, when you're looking at the list, it doesn't look so overwhelming because it's not as long. All right. And then here's number 7, using too many tools. Now here we can spend all day. And I'm a technology geek, let me tell you. I love me a new app. And I have to be mindful that every new app that comes out, as wonderful as it is, I don't necessarily need to add it to the systems and processes that I'm using in my business. That is a game changer, because I can tell you, and you know this, that, you know, for example, there's always a new phone coming out with new technology, and we just have to have it. There's always people in the background working on new apps, new software, and things that we need, you know, to enhance our businesses and things like that. But here's the thing. If you have systems in place, if you've automated where you can, and you're delegating, every time a new system comes out, it doesn't mean that you have to add it to your business. Now, if you don't have the structure in place, if you don't have systems in place, then yeah, every time something new comes out, it's like, oh, let me see if this is going to help me. When actually they probably all would help you if you actually took one, put a system around it, right, and actually used it consistently. Okay. So what did we just share here? Let's do a recap of the steps that I shared with you guys, and we're doing great on time, so I'm excited about that because I don't want to hold you too long. And I see we have some more people that joined us, so welcome. And we're going to be wrapping up here real soon because I don't want to hold you too long. I know that we all have families and things to do, so I like to get right into the content. So recapping, what did we just share? The 7 productivity blocks and how to clear them. So I'm just going to go over real briefly, not giving all the details. Definitely you'll get a link to the replay. And so you can take notes if you missed something and hit the pause button, write it down. So the first thing we talked about is stop doing everything yourself, right? And start letting other people help you. Start small. You know, you can start with small things. You don't have to give them the key to your house. You don't have to give them the passwords to your bank account. You don't have to give them that huge contract to work on. Start small. Start with something that you're comfortable with and something that won't hurt your business, okay? So that's one. The second thing we talked about is stop doing repetitive tasks and start automating it. So look at your business, take a few days, see what you're doing, something that you're doing over and over again, put a system around it, automate it. And when you're automating, you want to look for systems that'll help you with automation. For example, most of you, if you're doing social media, there is so many different ways to automate that so that you're not spending hours and hours and hours a day on social media. Trust me, it's there, it can happen. Okay, the third thing is not keeping focus. And we talked about that, where a lot of times it's distractions that's preventing you from being focused. And then also, if you don't know what your goals are, that can hinder you from being focused as well. So you need to know what your goals are, where you're trying to go, and what needs to take place for that to happen, and then get laser focused on those activities that you need to do to make it happen. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. Number 4, underestimating the amount of effort required. We're talking about effort and time. Don't underestimate, to have you under the gun. You can miss a deadline. You could lose a contract. So know how much time it's going to take you. Know how much effort, right, it's going to take to complete a particular task, and then allot for that time. A lot even more if you need to. More is always, better than having less time. Okay. The next thing we talked about is a giant to-do list. Break it down into smaller chunks and then break it down again, right? Focus on 3 things at a time. Start your day with a list of maybe 7 to 10 things, and then pull 3, complete those, and then you can pull 3 more if you have. But at the end of the day, you've accomplished something and you'll feel so much better. Trust me, try this one, it'll work. And then we talked about using too many tools. Again, there's a lot of different tools out there. I'll have to do a video on this, and maybe a training if you guys want it, to kind of show you the different software systems I use. I keep it really, really simple in my business. And I like things that kind of talk to each other. And I also, everything I use, I have it to where I can also access it on my phone, because I like to be mobile. Some people don't like that, but I love to be mobile. I don't want to be confined to one area of working in my business, okay? But there's a lot of different tools out there that you can use. So just be mindful that every time something new come out, don't be like, squirrel, squirrel, right? Squirrel, I got to go get it. So stay focused on what's working for you and use that. And then lastly, I want to share this one with you. I didn't share this one before, so this is a bonus, but I want to share this. And I have a whole lot of more different productivity blocks that you may experience again, but we don't have time for all of those. But these are, I do share them with my clients, but I wanted to pull these out because I thought they were important. But here's the other thing I want to share with you guys. Another productivity block is being indecisive in making decisions. I always say, make a decision quickly, and then do whatever you need to do to make that decision right. Okay, think about that, and that is a tweetable. Think about that in your business, as you're making decisions, or you need to make decisions, because if you're stuck in indecision, then you're not moving, you're not going to progress, and that's going to be a major block for you. All right. So I shared those things with you. I did a recap. So I like to give homework, if that's okay, give you something to do. So out of the 7, and the bonus one was 8, pick maybe 3 things that you'll focus on to begin to clear some of the productivity blocks out of your business. Even in your personal life, it works. And then see how things are changing for you. See how much more productive you are being. Because here's the thing, one system won't work for everybody. And that's why I like to work with my clients and actually customize systems and processes and things like that based on the type of person that they are. So I always say you need to know what type of chaos you like working in. Okay, so there's 3 different types, and you just need to know which type you are, right? What your style is, and then work within that style, work around that style, and then create things that works for you so that you can be as productive as possible in your own chaos. Okay, so pick one of those 3. Pick 3 out of the 7 or 8 that I shared here, right? And start changing those. Do what you can to move those blocks. And I would love to hear which 3 you're going to do. Share with me the progress. You can always email me. And again, I'll put that in the email with the video link. And I read all my emails myself, and I reply to them. So I truly want to know what's going on with you and how successful you are with the blocks. So definitely do that. And then I also want to offer too, I never like to leave you guys hanging. And I know for some people you may say, oh my God, this is juicy, but it's not enough. I need more. I have questions. I really need to work on this. I want to offer you to come and have a complimentary discovery session with me. And it's all about finding that missing piece, because what's missing in your productivity can be different than someone else. So we need to find out what that missing piece is so that you're aware of it. And then maybe you can start taking action on clearing it, okay? And you can go to FELICIAStreeter.com, answer a few questions so that when we jump on the phone, I can be laser focused on you and what your needs are, and I'll be able to share with you how we can get you from where you are to where you want to be. All right, I am cool with it. It's 20 minutes after. We have went through this quickly. And I promised you I would have you out in less than 30 minutes. So cool with that. Definitely be on the lookout because I'll be doing these probably about once a week or so. So next week, who knows what the topic is going to be. So I appreciate you taking the time out this evening joining me. Again, I'm Felicia Streeter, your professional game changer. Talk to you soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.